Well, this is episode 2 of the Future Millionaire podcast. And what we're going to talk about today is mostly some more changes in the community, but also what I do to make sure that I'm not getting stuck in the business or in the brand. So today's Monday. Well, it's Tuesday now. It's 1:20, but it was Monday earlier. And on Mondays, I try my hardest to make sure that I'm working on my business and not in my business. There was a time period there where I would get caught up like just doing the same thing every single day. And that's important. Consistency is important. Putting in the work is very important, but not when it's not actually building the bigger picture, building the bottom line. And so, for example, like it's very easy for me to wake up and edit a YouTube video. Like that's exciting and it's easy, wake up, edit a video, wake up, film a video. Like that stuff is not hard. It's grunt work though. And again, I think that kind of work is very important. That pushes the brand forward, like that makes sure that the chains are moving. But every once in a while, you need to make sure that you're working on the business. And so on Mondays, I have a whole like thing that I have to film, or a whole thing that I have to do to make sure that I'm staying on track and that I'm finishing those things. I'll grab the booklet that I made. I ordered another one, so that's another thing that happened today. But I do it to get more creative and think about what I'm working on and how that's actually serving me. So today, Monday, November 13th, I tried to figure out and just make sure that everything was going in the right direction. I have a lot of uncertainty right now about the direction I want to go with the brands and with the community. Like I said in yesterday's video, at yesterday's episode, I like switched the community from Discord to Mighty Networks, and now I think I'm going to switch it back. And I spent a lot of time thinking about that. I drafted out, like, if you guys are watching this on the video, you can see it's just like a stupid little, I have this sketchbook, and this sketchbook has just pages of different ideas. And whenever I'm kind of, I don't know, trying to figure things out, it's usually on a Monday. I whip out the old sketchbook and I just figure out how to do things better and more efficiently, or maximize profits or whatever. Like in this one, I'm trying to figure out how all of my YouTube videos tie into all of my different YouTube channels and different brands and different things that I sell with that. And there's a lot of arrows going around from this brand to this video to this kind of video, and how it links to this lead magnet. And it's just stuff like that's important for me to visualize. But today what I had to write out is I wanted to boil my community down to the most simple thing that it could be. I know for a fact I get really caught up and get distracted by like, oh, well, I could add this cool feature and I could add this cool feature and this cool feature. But the reality is like either that makes my life way harder and doesn't actually provide much more value for my community, or it's more expensive. And it's really like, I got to think about just the bottom line is, one, is it going to be profitable for me in the long run? Is that decision going to make me more money or less money in the future? And you can tie that to bigger thought processes. Like I boil it even deeper down to like, is that going to give my community a good experience? And if the answer is yes, then that means that yes, it's going to make me more money in the long run. And so therefore it's okay. But when I think about certain things that I've done, like I don't have that deeper meaning behind it. And I didn't think that hard about it. Like I did things because I thought it would make me more money and not because it was actually in my community's best interest. For example, the Mighty Networks thing was a little bit of simplification for me and taking a lot of pressure off of me on the moderation side, but it also was designed so like I could sell gated access to different things. And now maybe that's not the best I've decided that's not the best direction. I think gated content is okay when it's framed as its own product. And that's my current belief. Maybe that'll change in the future, but currently that's my belief. And what I was trying to do is create a gated product that wasn't a full product, and I didn't have it all lined up, and then it didn't really make much sense, and then it just didn't line up. Okay. So anyway, long story short, what I did is wrote in my little notebook about what what could I boil down the community to its most basic form that's ultimately going to be the most valuable and most simple for my members? And I came up with what my members want ultimately is they want to be able to ask questions and get answers to their questions. They want to be able to talk with each other. That's a very popular feature of the community I have going right now. They want to be able to share their progress, share updates about how everything's going and what they're working on. And they want to be able to flex. Like some of these guys have spent a lot of money on their items and they want to share those with everybody else and flex. And so that's it. Those are the 4 things I think that my community wants to get out of it. And then I boiled it down to the 3 things that I need from like auto moderation to make it work for me. And it's like an auto ban on the 3rd timeout, automatically timeouts from the mods if there's a warning or anything like that, and timeout for certain words. And with that, things that I can do in the community to make the interaction better is I could do trick challenges. I can challenge them to give awards for the best bike, and I can give awards for the best trick. And then not the gated section, but just a bonus section of the community for members of other areas who are already paying for things, like a perk that I can offer is a channel where they get access to me for my coaching and my guidance. Okay, so that's kind of the direction I'm going to go with that. And by just boiling it down to those, 8 things, I know the steps that I need to take within the Discord to make it more useful. And I can look like right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, like damn near 30 different channels. And that's overwhelming. Like I just need 5. I need 5 channels, maybe 6 or 7 staff chat logs. Like I don't need 30. And so I need to boil it down. I need to make it simpler for them. And I just need to condense. I need to give them what they want in a condensed way that's easier for them to find. And with that, everything's going to pay off. I really think it's all going to pay off. So anyway, I spent a lot of time today fumbling around with that, coming up with that idea, figuring out what I'm going to do. And the other thing the other thing that I was working on is like the to-do booklet that I have. Here, let me run and grab that booklet. Okay, I just grabbed the booklet, and if you guys are watching the video, you can kind of see it. But what this is it's just a spiral bound thing. I got it for like $12 on this print site that prints books. And I put it together. There's been 3 or 4 different iterations, and the one that I just ordered will be the best one. But this one was pretty good too. But it's got a section here. It's just my to-do list. It's got 3 goals at the very top that I write down every single day. They're usually the same goals each day, but I just write them down to keep myself fresh. I have the most important task of the day right there, bolded. That's the thing at the top that is the most important. And if I get anything done, I just make sure that it's that. If I can only get one thing done, then I have a spot to fill in my a spot where I need to make phone calls, what phone calls I need to make, what daily chores I have, and then different sections for the different brands that I'm working on, and then kind of a checklist for walking my dog, making sure I work out, making sure I read, and making sure I train my brain, which I've not been doing very good at. And then at the bottom, I've got 3 things that I'm thankful for and a little MTFC logo. And there's a lot to unpack here, and I'm just going to break it down because I think this has been very helpful for me, making sure that I stay on track and making sure that I get things done. I haven't had this for the last week because I haven't ordered it, and now I'm waiting on it. But without this, like, I sit down at my desk and I'm like, what the fuck do I need to work on? Like, I don't know, there's a million things, and I know that, like, there's a million things, but I don't know what I need to work on. Like, in this moment, what is the most important thing that I can be working on? I don't have it written down. I don't have it like planned out. I don't see that list of everything. So I don't know. Now, everyone has their own way of doing a checklist. I used the one on my computer for a long time, and now this has been the easiest one for me. There's a reason, like, there's very few lines, and I think I could shorten it even more, but I have one for Dougster Bob, one for BMX Nerds, one for Bike School, and I have one then Misc to Dos, but each one has 2 to 3 things, like 2 to 3 tasks per business that I can work on for the day. And usually I don't get, like, if I had it fully filled out, I don't get everything done on there. Some things are like sectioned out. They're like, hey, I need to make sure that I'm working towards editing this video. Like, I'm not, it's an 8-hour project. I'm not going to get it done today because I have these other things to do, but I need to at least put on work towards it, and then I'll fill it in for the next day. But it's really important. I don't know where I read it, what book I read it in, but it's like, hey, you don't want to have an overabundance of tasks to do. You need to keep it simple and just make sure that you're getting them done. The thing at the bottom, the MTFC, is a reminder of that. It's from a Ryan Muncie book. I can't remember which one it is. I feel like it's Unfuck Yourself, but hold on. Let me look because I want to get it right. Ryan Muncie. He's really not even that popular of an author, but that book was just like, it was really, it's Fuck Your Feelings. Not Unfuck Yourself, Fuck Your Feelings. Really good book, in my opinion. It was really good. And his whole concept of MTFC, which is move the fucking chains, it was life-changing for me, because when you think about it, he's like, hey, in football, all they have to do, if all the team did was got 2.5 yards every single play, they would never lose. It would be impossible. And 2.5 yards is not very much. Like, that's a pretty small thing. Now you have to do it consistently and you have to actually get that much. But when you think about it, it's like, okay, can I do like one little thing every single day that moves me closer to my goal? And the answer is yes, absolutely. But I just need to know what that one little thing is. So by breaking it down into like the MTFC method, that's how I'm always thinking about things. I'm like, okay, I want to get 6 million things done today, but I'm not going to. So what are the 1 or 2 things that are going to move the chains? What's going to move me closer? And if I just at least get those done every single day, that's what that most important task is for the day. That's up at the top of that list. It's going to move me closer, and it's going to get me to a point where, it's just small wins consistently over time. Somebody said, like, we overestimate what we can get done in the short term and underestimate what we can get done in the long term. And that's really stuck with me too. So anyway, on this little booklet, I just make sure I fill in some things that are like connected to the overarching projects that I have going on. I'm really big into the OKR goals. That's from Measure What Matters by John Doerr, super good book. And the OKR goal setting system like ties into this for me, and the MTFC method like a lot. So anyway, if you want this little booklet, go crazy. I'll send it to you. I mean, I won't send you one of these. I'll send you the PDF so you can print your own. Just shoot me a message on TikTok or something. But anyway, and then on the back side of each like to-do booklet is just a daily MTFC. It's a checklist for each little brand of things that I need to do. Here's one. Share a video, engage with the Discord, share 5 posts to my story, 1 interaction reel. And then on Mondays and Fridays, those are days that I make sure that I take off of my serving job. Those are days that I spend building the brand or working on the brand and not in the brand. And so for Monday, there's specific things like pay my blog post writer, check in on my budget, check in on my video editor, schedule a YouTube video. Like, those are just day specific things. And so they all go together. And then every Monday, there's a longer checklist that I call a prioritize and plan, where I look at the prioritize and plan thing is kind of annoying, but like I just try to make it more fun. Like I go out, I buy myself a lunch or dinner, and I sit there and just go over this. Let's see. So within that, I have different like problem solving. So it's like I list the problem, I write out what I think the potential solution is, I explain why it's a problem to me, I explain how others solved it, and then I explain how I can solve it. And by running through that method, it helps me think a little bit deeper about problems that I'm having. It's like, hey, I'm not making as much money this month as I was that month. I was like, okay, well, what's the potential solution? Maybe I need to put out more videos. Maybe I didn't put out the same amount of videos in that niche or in that area. Like maybe I didn't do review videos that generate affiliate income. Maybe I did writing videos that don't actually generate any income. And so what's the potential solution there? Why is that a problem? Well, if I have less money, I can't pay the editor. If I have less money, I can't pay this. I can't do that. Like there's a million reasons that that's a problem. How did others solve it? Okay, well, some people gave up. Some people switched directions. Some people did create more videos. Some people created different kinds of content. Some people started selling merch. Some people did, like, how did other people solve it? Fill that out. And then by then I'm usually like, okay, well, this is what I need to do. Like, it just helps me come full circle and get a clear thought there. I check in on my monthly objectives from the OKR thing that I mentioned earlier. They'll, write my key results again. And then I go over and it's just a stupid workbook. Like, it's kind of silly, like first grade stuff. But then I'll write in, how can I make more content? How can I make better content? How can I make a better community? Should I scale this income stream, or should I 86 it, or should I keep it steady? And by looking at that, like, everything can't be a scale. I don't have enough energy to scale everything that I have going on. So I've got to kind of pick and choose what I should work on. Like, Christmas is coming up. So my things that generate affiliate income should be a little bit higher priority right now for scaling, and things that don't really matter as much, like selling a course, would be a little bit lower priority. And it's hard to visualize those things and be really conscious about it if you don't have it written down. So anyway, that's kind of the goal booklet thing that I use to check in on everything, and the systems that I use. The reality is, like, I've tried a bunch of different things. This is the one that has worked the best for me. You're going to have to play with your own. You're going to have to read your own books. You're going to have to figure out your own systems. Everybody's got something different. And I don't know that this might not be the system I have forever. I don't know. But this is what I'm doing right now. And that's the whole point. So I'm just sharing what I've got going on. So Mondays are fun by myself. I went to Denny's today and finished up my newsletter. This is kind of a fun story. When I started the newsletter idea and adding all the people to my email list, I had a pretty in-depth ChatGPT prompt to get it to write the newsletter. Like, I just fill out my spreadsheet with the weekly specific things and then have it write each section of the newsletter. And it kind of took a lot of time. It was really frustrating because sometimes it would get confused, or it just pissed me off. And I have very short tolerance for, like, technology's incompetence. I guess incompetence in general. Like, there's some cooks at work that just, I think, are dumber than a sack of rocks, and I have no tolerance for that. And so when ChatGPT is acting dumb as shit, I have no tolerance for it either, and I get, like, actually really mad. So anyway, what I decided to do today was just, hey, I'm gonna just write the goddamn email myself. And so it honestly didn't take me very long. It took me about the same amount of time, and I think it's better. It's more authentic. It's more in my words versus having GPT kind of just rewrite things. And so anyway, I was at Denny's, and that's what I worked on while I was at Denny's. I got a combo platter and drank way too much coffee. I hate coffee, but I drink coffee when I go to Denny's, which is some Monday nights. If I don't get my stuff done during Monday during the day, then I go to Denny's at night because, like, the coffee shops that I like to go to are closed. And so anyway, that's what I was doing at Denny's. Did that, got the email, scheduled to go out tomorrow. I don't know. I feel like I'm really behind today because I went out. I had to film more for the YouTube video because I was behind on that. I didn't get it all done last week, and now I've got to edit it tomorrow before I go to work, or edit as much as I can tomorrow before I go to work. And I've got to approve the videos that the guy edited because he's behind on that. And so today is my day to approve those and post them on YouTube and assign them to my blog post writer. But since he's behind on the videos, now I'm behind on getting those scheduled and getting them put out. So now I have to just pull random ass projects out of thin air for the blog post guy because the YouTube videos aren't ready. And then when the YouTube videos are ready on a day that I have to work a real job and I don't have time to go through my systems, I've got to stop what I need to do and then do the system side of things and make sure everything's all buttoned up. Or I could just wait until next Monday and say, sorry, pal, like, here's your money. Wait till the next Monday. It really stresses me out thinking about all of that because it's like today is the day. It's on my Monday to-do list is to schedule YouTube videos. So those videos need to be finished by today so that I can schedule them on YouTube. And so I can take ideally they're done before today. I can take the transcripts and plug them in to the spreadsheet for the blog post editor, but it's not done. It's not there. And so now I'm just gonna have to figure that out tomorrow. I'm gonna have to squeeze it in. And so then I'd write that into my little to-do list for tomorrow. But this is October and it's November and I don't have a November book. I'm glad I got that little rant out of the way. But anyway, bottom line is it's very important for me to set time aside every single week where I can think about the CEO, think as the CEO and not the employee. I've got to sit down. I've got to say, okay, what are the projects that I have going on? Is this worth my time? What is the income coming in from this? Which project brought in the most income? How can I make that more? Thinking about Pareto principle and how I can like scale the 20%, you know, what can I do better? Because if I'm not thinking about those things, I'm just stuck in the employee mode where I'm just editing or I'm just filming or I'm just writing blog posts or I'm just tweaking things. Like I've got to think about a lot of different things. One thing that came out of this session was I was fumbling around. I stumbled across a competitor's blog post and his website, and this website I remember seeing over a year ago is just starting out. Now he's got a good amount of articles, but the type of article that he has, I want to start putting those kinds of articles on my website. And so I messaged the blog post guy. I was like, hey, could you create a prompt and could you do these kind of articles? The video editor's behind, so I don't have anything for you this week. Can you do this kind? He's like, yeah, I think I can. Like send me the list. And so like, if I hadn't have spent that day, if I hadn't have spent Monday doing what I need to do and thinking about how I can scale my business or how I can scale the different parts of that, like I do want to grow the website side. And so the articles that are similar to what this guy's doing are very important for that. And it's something that I haven't had time to do because the workflow is just mostly about answering direct questions. So anyway, this is something that came out of that wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have put the time aside to think about that. And there's a lot of things that I can think about where I'm at right now. Like the newsletter idea is something that came out from a Monday. The new community is something that came from a Monday. Like it seems like every Monday I just pick something that's frustrating me and figure out how I can do it better. And then I create a big project for myself for the whole week, trying to figure that out. And then I figure it out. And sometimes I like it. And sometimes I say, well, that was a waste of time, but let's move on to the next thing. If you guys are struggling with your stuff, whether you're a YouTuber, whether you write blog posts, whether you repost content, like whatever it is, step aside from that. You're going to get so many benefits if you step aside from that for just a day and think about the act of the business, or like what is going on in the business. So instead of just creating a YouTube video because you're a YouTuber, step aside and say, how can I do this better? Or how can I make this make more money? How can I get more subscribers from this? How can I get, like, ask yourself those hard questions. And like, I write it down. It's very childish, but it's like, hey, how can I scale this project? How can I give my community a better place? How can I make better quality videos? And like, I know the answer, but do I really? You know, when I sit down and write it down, I have a much better understanding of that whole thing. And so think about what you're working on, step aside from it, and figure out some ways to do better and make it better. I think if I did this every single Monday for the rest of my life, the things that I would come up with would just be crazy. Now, you can't do that all the time. I know someone who spends a lot of time dreaming of ideas and dreaming of good ideas to do it differently and do it better. But if you never actually are in the trenches and you never actually have that like action, it's not going to move forward either. So let me break that idea down. I think it's very, very important to do the work. It's very you've got two things going on that make a business successful, or make a brand, make a personal brand, make a side hustle successful. And it's like doing the shitty work. And you can either pay somebody else to do the shitty work, or you can do the shitty work yourself. And if you're starting out, you're going to have to do the shitty work yourself. But if you don't think smartly about it, if you don't brainstorm ways to do the shitty work more efficiently, maximize profits on the shitty work, or anything like that, you're just going to be stuck doing shitty work, and that's not fun either. So you have to have two sides. I think it's a 80-20. 20% of the time you're spending figuring out how to maximize the shitty work, how to get somebody else to do the shitty work, or how to like enjoy the shitty work more, just how to make that better. But then the 80% of the time, you've got to be in the trenches. You've got to be doing the shitty work, because nothing's going to get done. You're not going to be moving the chains. You're not going to be rolling the ball forward if nobody's doing the shitty work. You can't spend your whole time dreaming about how to make the shitty work less shitty, and you can't spend all of your time doing the shitty work. You just have to balance those two things, and you're going to get a lot of harmony from it. That's what I've found. That's what I have to do. Sometimes I spend too much time dreaming. Sometimes I spend too much time just doing the work. And when I find that harmony, that I feel like everything's kind of balanced out, I feel at peace and things are actually growing, and I don't feel as stressed out. And that's just been my experience with that. But if you guys are in a spot where you're like, nothing ever gets done, well, maybe you're spending too much time dreaming about it and not actually doing it. And then if you're in the spot where you're like, oh my God, I don't have any time to do anything else, I'm just stuck in the trenches, like doing all this, then maybe you need to it's going to be stressful, but take a step aside and just think about how you can do it better. That's my 2 cents. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow. It's 1:47. I'm gonna get ready for bed, go to sleep, and wake up in a few hours. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for listening.